What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Optimize You. We are the podcast helping you optimize every single area of your life: health, fitness, nutrition, mindset, identity, literally everything. And before we get started today on the Thursday episode, which is just me talking about my life, which has been going really, really good here the last week. I feel like I finally hit my groove. I'm going to be talking about some of those things that I've been doing. Hopefully they can help you get a little bit better. That's all I want. And that's all we really want from this podcast. Help you get a little bit better each day. Continue moving towards that best version of yourself. And so first off, if you do enjoy this podcast, though, make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss our Tuesday or Thursday episodes. You leave a comment. Let us know if you have any questions, what you enjoy about the podcast. We're doing Q&A. We're going to do a Q&A episode coming up here pretty soon. So if you do have questions, please leave them in the YouTube video comment section, and we will answer those in our one of the next few Q&As, depending on how many questions we get. Also, make sure you rate it. If you do enjoy the podcast, please rate it on Apple, Spotify, whichever one you're using, and send it to one person. If there's somebody out there who you think could benefit from the health, fitness, fat loss, muscle building, nutrition content that we're putting out here on a weekly basis, please share it with a friend. We'd really, really appreciate it. And so now getting into the podcast. So this week has been the best week in a long, long time. I have been feeling really, really good. I feel like I've just been getting back into a groove. So I really figured out that first off, I need structure. It's just the way it is. I talked about on one of our previous podcasts how, I was just, there's a downside to discipline. And I think that I hit it where it just I had way too many things on my plate and I was just trying to be so disciplined with all of those things. I talked about having an hour for this and 30 minutes for that, 90 minutes for this. And it just felt like it was more stress than good. It just led me to be super stressed, put tons of pressure on myself, and it just didn't lead to anything good. It led me to go back to some of my vices. It led me to do a lot of things that I'm not proud of, to overeat, to binge, all that shit. And so that's not what we want to do, right? But I do need structure. I do need something, because if I don't have anything, I don't do much, right? I can sit there and watch TV, Netflix, all that shit. I can binge all that. So I just put a little bit of structure. Every day what I want to do is I want to get a 45-minute walk in, or 45 minutes of walks in, right? It doesn't have to be one big walk. It could be 3-4 walks. It just gets done. And honestly, the weather here is fucking amazing. So there's no excuses not to do that. And really, Coco needs walks. So that's a huge part of that. I love the walks, and I've been trying to just go at these walks a little bit differently, where I'm not just trying to get it over with, right? In the past, I've really enjoyed the walks because they've been a really good form of stress relief, a really good form of thinking, working through problems, stuff like that. So I've just been trying to slow down. We've actually been going on hikes instead of just walking around our complex or around the golf course or around the neighborhoods that are close to my apartment. We've been going on hikes in the morning, or this morning, actually the morning that I'm recording, we went to a path that has some really cool trees and really cool mansions and stuff like that. And so we walked on that. So I've just been kind of driving to different places to walk, to mix it up. And I've been slowing down and enjoying the walk instead of just stressing about getting it done so quickly. Another thing is making sure I'm getting some sort of workout or yoga in. So either a workout or yoga. It doesn't have to be any sort of just a length of time, but I do have a program that I put together for myself. Just a 4-day, it's legs and shoulders, it's back and chest, and then bis and tris, and then full body. So there's 4 days that I have there. On the other 3 days, I'm doing yoga, some sort of yoga, a lot of more recovery based yoga, because I'm golfing generally 2 to 3 times a week. That's a stressor on the body too. Swinging a lot kind of flares up my knee a little bit. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm really focusing on recovery. Reading. When I'm reading, I'm just thinking a lot more clearly and putting a lot more good shit in my brain. And so I'm doing 15 minutes a day. For the longest time, for about a year straight, I did 30 minutes a day. But for me, I just want to set the bar to where I know I can do it every day. What can I consistently do for life? And you know what? I can consistently read 15 minutes a day for life. even if I got to do 5 in the morning and 10 at night or whatever it is, 15 minutes is very, very doable. For some reason, that 30 minutes sometimes seems like a huge chore on certain days when I'm tired. So I'm putting it at 15. Some days I do more, but that's the minimum, right? And then what is else? We got a nighttime routine. So just like a simple ass fucking nighttime routine. Doing some stretching, doing some meditation, just a quick little meditation, and going to bed, right? Just simple, but doing it at a time where I can really like get some good sleep, because it is important. When I sandwich my day with a good nighttime routine that gets me into a good place for sleep and a good morning workout, that is when I'm really moving and grooving. I'm feeling really, really good. And so I've been doing that. And the last thing is I wake up in the morning and I have like the smallest morning routine ever. I do some morning gratitude and I do this responsibility transfer visualization. So it's literally just, I actually talked about it on, I think, the Tuesday episode that you just saw if you watch all of our podcasts or listen to all our podcasts. But it's just this, just kind of a faith thing, or just like transferring the stress, the burden of life, of any of my struggles, of any of my worries, to God in the universe, to whatever the higher power is you believe in. And it's just visualizing that. Almost, I like to visualize it almost as like a huge like ring around my neck, almost like so I have like a necklace. I kind of think of it as like this huge, thick, big, weighted necklace. And it's just labeled with stress, all my worries, all that. And it's me transferring it to God in the universe, right? I'm not going to push anything on you guys. I'm still kind of figuring out my whole faith thing, but I'm really trying to have that faith and just understand that, a lot of this stuff is out of my control, and I'm just going to try to do my best, prepare my best, and whatever happens is supposed to happen, right? And in the end, like sometimes the things that we view as negative, there's a positive thing to that. Like if you got in an accident, like maybe there was something crazy that happened up ahead, or at the meeting that you were supposed to have. Like there was like an active shooter or something like that, or that's obviously a very drastic thing, but there could be something like that where like this thing that seems so negative, it made you late for an appointment or whatever, actually saved your life. Right. There's plenty of situations where that stuff happens. And so if we can find the positives in those and just have faith that everything's going to work out for the way it's supposed to, it just takes a lot of the stress and worry off. And I've seen that in my own life the past week, of really like reminding myself of that. And the last thing is something that my therapist actually gave me, which is just like intention, because I've struggled in the past with kindness, right? Being my best friend. I've talked about it many, many times on this Thursday episode, how I'm always trying to get better and be kinder. And I think that, the intention just wasn't always there. The reminder wasn't always there. I want to keep it top of mind. And so my therapist actually gave me a reminder. She's like, or an idea of like having an intention. Because I was like, how can I like do this? How can I remember to do this on a more regular basis? How can I make better decisions? Because sometimes for me as well, on a little bit different part, like I'll be in the decision, right? I'll be present for a decision of falling into one of my vices, or not doing it, right? And knowing all well, like a lot of us do, that a lot of these things that we do, these bad habits, these habits that aren't serving us, we know that they're not beneficial, right? There's some sort of positive intention there, right? There's something it's doing for you, right? Generally, it's probably stress relief, maybe getting you out of your own head, but like they're not serving us, right? So she helped me create this intention, to just the intention of doing the most loving, kind, compassionate thing for myself in any moment. So when it comes on a decision throughout the day, and I have 3 reminders. I have a reminder at 6 a.m., I have a reminder at 11 a.m., and I have a reminder at 4 p.m. that just has my daily intention of doing the most loving, kind thing for myself in any moment. And that reminds me enough, and has over the last week reminded me enough to start keeping it top of mind, where I do go into certain decisions, or different, like where I could go down this road, or I could down this road. And I think of like, what's going to be the most compassionate thing for me in this moment? Like what's the thing that the best friend Alex would do for himself here? right? And then I make that decision. And that's not to say I'm always going to make that decision, right? I'm not always going to be perfect with it. And I understand that. And I try to keep at top of mind as well that life is 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It's not always going to be linear. I think a lot of times our expectations for things is what puts us into a bad spot, is that we just do not understand. We have these expectations that everything's going to be perfect, that results are linear with everything that we do. I have struggled with this immensely in my life, even up until recently. Like I've always had these expectations, these standards that are like perfection and just like there can't be mistakes, right? And that is a tough way to live. And that's generally like the all or nothing type mindset, and something that can constantly put you back into bad spots like it has me. And so I've just kind of been doing that. That's the big thing this week. Those are the big rocks of the week. And so hopefully you can kind of take that, understanding if you're the type of person who needs structure in their life or needs more structure, whatever that may be. I've figured out I need some structure. I'm trying to have a little more looser structure, or just the structure that allows me to stick with these habits day after day for life, for 10 years, 20 years, whatever it may be. Obviously, sometimes over the course of a decade, our life changes pretty drastically. So maybe they need to shift, but can I stick with this for 10 years? And I think that what I'm doing is very realistic. And what I'm doing might not be realistic for you, but that's why you have to meet yourself where you're at and figure out what is going to work best for you. What is going to help you move forward in the best way possible and keep you in a great spot. And so that's what I got for you today. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope this was helpful. If it was, make sure that you like, subscribe, share it with a friend who could also benefit from this one. And I really appreciate you. Me and Matt appreciate you watching and listening on a daily basis, a weekly basis. And hope you enjoy this episode. I hope you enjoy your day, your week, and I'll be talking to you soon.